The throne room of Emperor Zorvakthal stretched across half a kilometer of polished obsidian, lined with the skeletal remains of creatures from 100 conquered worlds. Each bone served as a reminder of his empire's dominance, of teeth and claws that had once inspired terror before being reduced to decorative warnings. Kael Orion stood before the throne, a human boy of barely 14 cycles, his worn travel cloak dusty from weeks of crossing the imperial wasteland. He looked impossibly small beneath the vaulted ceiling, yet his posture betrayed no fear. "A child," Zorvak rumbled, his four eyes narrowing in amusement. The Emperor's crystalline exoskeleton reflected the plasma torches that illuminated his court, creating fractured rainbows across the walls. "The humans send me a child to negotiate for their colony's survival. I volunteered," Kael said simply. His voice carried clearly despite its youth, cutting through the whispers of the assembled courtiers. Zorvak's mandibles clicked in what passed for laughter among his species. Around him, his advisors joined in the chorus of derision. The sound echoed like breaking glass. "Your settlement squats on the richest vein of stellarium in 12 sectors," the Emperor said, leaning forward on his throne. "I could take it by force. 20,000 troops await my command. Why should I negotiate with a human pup?" "Because force is expensive," Kael replied, meeting each of the Emperor's four eyes in turn. "And because I have something to offer that your armies cannot provide." This drew more laughter from the court, but Zorvak raised one serrated appendage for silence. The boy intrigued him, and it had been many cycles since anything had done that. "Speak then. What could you possibly offer an emperor who commands 300 worlds?" Kael's lips curved into the faintest smile. "I can do what no being in your empire has ever accomplished. I can tame the Vexthor." The throne room fell silent. Even the plasma torches seemed to dim. The Vexthor was death-given form, a creature from the deepest canyons of Zorvak's homeworld, twice the size of a battle mech, covered in armor that could deflect plasma fire with jaws that could crush starship hulls. It had killed 16 of the Emperor's best beastmasters before Zorvak had ordered it sealed in the subterranean arena, too dangerous to destroy but too valuable to release. "You jest," Zorvak said, but uncertainty crept into his voice. "I do not." Kael's calm was absolute, as still as a mountain lake. "If I tame the Vexthor, you will grant my people sovereignty over our settlement and the stellarium rights in perpetuity. If I fail, you may have our colony without resistance." The Emperor studied the boy for a long moment. Humans were strange creatures, their bodies soft and weak, yet they had spread across the galaxy like a virus. There was something in them, some inexplicable quality that made them survive where hardier species perished. "And if the Vexthor kills you, then you've lost nothing but gained entertainment for your court," Kael said. Zorvak's mandibles spread wide in a genuine smile. "Very well, human child. You have a bargain. My planet itself, my homeworld, against your little colony. If by some miracle you tame the Vexthor, I will deed you not just your stellarium mine but the entire world upon which your settlement rests." The courtiers gasped. The Emperor's homeworld was worth 1,000 colonial settlements. "You're that confident I'll fail?" Kael asked. "I know you will fail," Zorvak said. "But your courage amuses me, and I would see how long you last." "Guards, take the boy to the arena." The subterranean arena was carved from solid rock, a circular pit 50 meters across with walls too smooth to climb. Bones littered the floor, some still bearing scraps of flesh from the Vexthor's last feeding. The viewing gallery above was packed with courtiers eager to witness the spectacle. Kael stood at the arena's center as the gates groaned open. The smell hit first, sulfur and decay and something else, something primal that triggered every prey instinct evolution had coded into sentient species. Then the Vexthor emerged. It moved on 8 legs, each ending in talons that scored the stone. Its head was all teeth and sensory organs, constantly tasting the air. Bioluminescent patterns pulsed along its armored flanks, patterns that induced paralytic fear in most species. The courtiers fell silent, waiting for the screaming to begin. Kael sat down. He simply lowered himself to the arena floor, crossed his legs, and placed his hands in his lap. His breathing slowed, deepened. His eyes half closed. The Vexthor charged, 8 legs churning, jaws wide enough to swallow the boy whole. 10 meters, 5-3. Kael didn't move. The Vexthor stopped. Its massive head swayed, sensory organs quivering. It circled the boy once, twice, its predatory gait growing confused. It lowered its head, bringing its jaws within centimeters of Kale's face. The boy exhaled slowly, calmly. His heartbeat remained steady, his scent unchanged by fear chemicals. To the Vexthor, evolved to hunt prey that fled or fought, this creature registered as neither food nor threat. It was simply there, still as stone, calm as the deepest cave. Kale raised one hand slowly and placed it on the creature's armored snout. The Vexthor rumbled, a sound that shook dust from the arena ceiling, but it didn't attack. In the gallery above, Emperor Zorvak rose from his seat, all four eyes wide with disbelief. Kyle stood, his hand still touching the creature. He began to walk and the Vexthor followed, its 8 legs moving in careful synchronization to match the boy's pace. Impossible, Zorvak whispered. Kyle looked up at the gallery at the stunned Emperor and smiled. Among my people we have a saying, the loudest warrior often hides the most fear, but the quiet one, the calm one, even predators sense there is nothing to hunt. He patted the Vexthor's flank, and the creature lowered itself to the ground beside him, docile as a pet. I believe we had an agreement, Emperor. Though I'll settle for just our colony's sovereignty. You can keep your homeworld. Zorvak stared at the boy and the tamed apex predator, and for the first time in his long reign, he understood why humanity kept surviving against impossible odds. It wasn't their technology or their numbers. It was something deeper. Something that turned a child into a force of nature through nothing but unshakable calm. The colony is yours, the Emperor said quietly. And human, you may ask for more. You've earned it. Kale smiled. Just the colony is enough. And perhaps, safe passage home? The Emperor nodded, and in that moment he knew that humanity would never be conquered. Not by force. Not by any empire. Because how do you defeat a species that sends its children to tame the untamable? Armed with nothing but courage and an impossible calm. You don't. You simply learn to respect them.